Hello everybody, my name is Christian. This is my small channel where I post everything that I'm knitting, crocheting, lots of things. I'm coming from Chisinau, Moldova in Eastern Europe, and this video is going to be about all the things I managed to finish in the month of February. I have my trusted notebook here because unfortunately I remember nothing, you guys. So for February, I see here 7 finished objects. February, I started going back to work. For those who don't know, I'm a conference interpreter, so sometimes I can sneak some knitting at work if it's a small project, if it's a coffee break, if it's a lunch, or even during the work we have times when we are not physically working and we can take a break. So I'm happy to see that this influenced the number of finished objects. But for February, I actually wanted to finish my bigger WIPs. So as you know, for February, there is this challenge, Finish It February. And it's when you choose a WIP or multiple WIPs, working in progress, and you only focus on that project. You work every day, like 30 minutes or 15 minutes. I've seen Engineering Knits. It's one of the YouTubers that I follow. She did 15 minutes on one of her most difficult, I think, a cape. She was knitting on a cape. But anyways, my method is to knit 30 minutes every day. And wait, what was I gonna say? And so I was hoping that by doing 30 minutes every day, I would have more finished objects. But unfortunately, I ended up not even finishing the 2 big projects, but also I casted on 4 more. But never mind, let's look at the finished object. So I finished the first 2 pairs of socks of the year 2024. I have here green stripy socks and pink socks. I will include some videos here because these socks went to my mom already. If you follow me along, I make socks that I send to my mom, and she has either the option to wear it or sell it because she lives in like a remote village, and at the farm in the village socks are always needed. And I used for both of these socks acrylic yarn and 2.5mm needles. I'm trying to finish the acrylic yarn that I had for my temperature blanket. You can see it over there. So, and in the village, as I said, socks are socks. They don't have to be yarn, they don't have to be wool or acrylic, they're just socks. She wears them, throws them in the washing machine, and good to go. So the green stripy socks were 90 grams and the pink socks were 85 grams. So my biggest WIPs were the scrappy blanket and the purple sweater. But in the between of these projects, I wanted to do something simple, something that I can grab and go. This is why I started knitting on cotton tablecloths. Oh my god, you guys, these are so addictive. Here's one of them. So I had some cotton that I ordered last year, and it turned out I ordered the wrong type of cotton. I ordered mercerized, very thin cotton, which you would use for like crocheting a doily or something like that. But I didn't want to do that, so I ended up using several threads, yes, of cotton in order to make these cotton cloth. So basically I made 3 of different colors, and they went to my mom once again. She visited me here in Chisinau, she saw them and she liked it. I only asked her to leave me this one so that I can keep it as a template to make more, because you guys, so easy. And I think I did this in about 1.5 hours. I mean, I don't know, I didn't time myself, and I used multiple threads of yarn, and I even used multiple colors. So this is the ideal project for me to bust the cotton stash that I have in my flat, because I ordered something that I didn't know was gonna come like this. So mercerized cotton, note to self not to buy it, especially this thin. So I decided to use it for the cotton tablecloth. So I made 3 of them. I used 4mm needles, and the majority of the cotton was from that order from Filanina. And in total, I used 339 grams. I will include here a video how they look. I was very impressed. I had no idea that I can combine multiple colors and just like bada bing, bada boom. One day at the conference, coffee break, lunch break, and it was done. It was addictive. Probably I should have worked more on my main project, but anyways. The next finished object was my shawl. Oh, my remake of my shawl. I'm not a really big shawl person, but last year I made a small shawl with a skein of yarn that I found in the thrift store. I was in love with these colors. So I made this small shawl, and I was wearing it like this, but I had in the back of my mind this desire to make it bigger so that it just like covers my neck area completely. So I found a ball of yarn which was more or less similar, and you guys, I made the continuation. Obviously it's not the same colors, obviously it's not even the same consistency. Look how thin this one is. You can even see my face, and look, this one is thicker. And I ended this shawl, which by the way was just simple garter. Yes, let me show you. Simple garter stitch. But then at some point I got bored and I said, can I just see how this looks like in stockinette? Hold on. And I decided to make a few rows of stockinette. This is how it looks. And at the end, to top it all off, I accepted that this will be a corky shawl. And I said, that's fine, that's fine. I just want to finish it and wear it. So I looked into my stash and I found one ball, very odd, small ball of yarn, which had this gray, yellow, rusty thingy. And I said, oh my God, let me throw that in too. And as a result, I have the most quirkiest shawls ever. And by the way, this is my favorite shawl to put on when I go in the evening and walk my dog. It's so cold, like it doesn't matter if it's like 20 degrees during the day, at night it is chilly. So I throw this and I love it, you guys. Anyways, I used for the remake 2.5mm needles, and it has 260 grams all in total, minus the 100 gram that I used last year because I just picked up the stitches, and I have 160 gram used from my current stash. And the last project, where it is, are my leg warmers, you guys. I took a trip to Romania and I decided to knit something really fast, and I picked up some self-striping yarn with the intention to make socks. But then I don't know at what point I changed my mind, and I said, okay, can I just like make some leg warmers? So I did one really long. I think I ended up making one this long during the day trip, and then I just continued. And of course I realized I'm not gonna have enough yarn, so I ended up making this black stripe with merino and alpaca wool from Alizé. This is a ball of yarn that I have in my collection. I don't know why I bought it. I bought it to make my nephew's black vest, but then I ended up just using merino wool because this is a very different consistency than merino. It's much softer and it stretches much more. So I decided that these were my leg warmers, and this part will cover the shoe, or at least, you know, the leg near the shoe. It's quite rough. This is merino wool from Filanina, the Romanian producer. I think you already have a headache from me repeating all the time, but last summer I was burnt out and I decided to buy about 30 balls of yarns from them. So now I'm slowly consuming that yarn, and one of the balls were self-striping yarn with this rusty white and gray and black. And I already tried them. They fit me, which is surprising. They're kind of short. I would have loved for them to sit wrinkly like this on my leg, on my entire leg. But then if I do that, they only cover like a quarter of my leg. So I have to stretch them and then cover a bit of my shoe or my heel. So you can imagine these are not as long. but it's gonna be fun to wear something new which I made, and I had so much fun knitting on these. I used, I think, I started at 2.5 millimeter, then I upgraded to 3 millimeter because it is quite thick. And one thing, Filanina doesn't write on the label the type of yarn, if it's DK or worsted, and I finally I understood how other knitters get this information. You just Google 150 meters per 100 gram, and then it tells you which category and how the category is called in different countries, because apparently the US has its slang, Australia, UK. The more you know, the more you knit, the more you find out, the more you know, the more you understand that you want to know more. I'm sorry, I'm just excited. I'm excited that I feel good. Today is the 8th of March, by the way. You can see here the symbol of spring that we have in Moldova. We use red and white thread to decorate our homes, or we put it on the chest. Or, for example, on my blouse, I chose this blouse because it has red and white. So I'm excited. Today is the 8th of March, which is the International Women's Day in Moldova and in many countries of the world. I feel better. My ribs are healing really well. What else? I had good lunch. Basically, I'm happy. I have my shawl finished, which makes me quite happy. My dog is right here and he's not chewing or drinking water. So I'm sorry. I'm excited. What was I saying? Yeah, my leg warmers, I try them on. They make me look a little bit like a teenager, which is fine. Oh, and this for these leg warmers, I used 120 grams from my stash. So all in total, I used for the month of February only 794 grams of yarn, which is about 1.75 pounds. It's not a lot because I really wanted to finish my scrappy blanket and my purple sweater, but I didn't. I kept starting like a small cotton cloth, a sock, another sock. So finish February was a failure for me, but I did make a lot of progress. So let me show you. Okay, these are my finished objects. I mentioned how many pounds. So let me put this notebook here on the piano and let me show you my WIPs. So, as you can guess, I have another tablecloth on my needles. Oh God, my dog is sitting on the yarn, but that's okay, I can just tell you. So I decided to increase the size of these tablecloths because I thought that they are way too small. So I said, okay, I'm gonna start not with 30 or 35 stitches, but let me try 55 stitches and like 50 rows tall. So this is what I have thus far. I have one which is almost bind off. I need to do the bind off, and I'm trying to be very careful because the yarn is right here, and it's actually the last piece of this red thread that I had for ages, and I'm so happy that it's finally, hold on, it's finally used up. I am like one of those people who keep things for years and years, and then 1 year after they completely used up that thing, they have like a party. In my mind, of course, I don't throw a party, but in my mind, I was like, you see, it was worth it. It was worth saving that red thread, which is really, really, really thin, to save it so that I can make a tablecloth. So I decided to make them bigger for millimeter needles. I think 2 or 3 threads together and 55 stitches, and I don't know how many rows tall. I kind of put them one on top of the other, and then I decide, oh, it's time to bind off. That's all. So I have one which needs to be finished and to have like a clean bind off, you know, to say it's officially finished. I have a second one. I looked all around my scrappy scrappy bag, for some cotton leftovers, and I found my dress cotton leftovers, my blouse cotton leftovers, and I think this is from a pillowcase. So I combined everything, bada bing bada boom. I still need to do the bind off, and it will be officially finished. I don't know if I should block them to see how much they stretch, but I have already used these tablecloths that I needed from cotton, and they are super comfortable in the kitchen. They're amazing. So you guys, it seems that I'm gonna have a bit of a collection over here. I made a collection of 4 for my mom. I gave her 3 and 1 is still with me. So I'm making now a collection for myself. Apparently I have 3 which need a proper bind off, and then I think I need a break from all the cotton cloths. But I said that when I was knitting on the tiny ones, and still the moment I bind off one of these puppies, I just cast on and say, oh, let me try a combination of plum, gray, and I don't know what is this even, plum, gray, and purple. Or I used like red, purple, and white, all sorts of combinations. So I have 3 cotton tablecloths, and that is my cat, Nikita. Nikita, you good? He's good. So 3 WIPs, tablecloths from cotton, very nice. And oh my god, I have another WIP in my bag, in my purse. Let me show you the big WIPs. So I tried to finish my purple sweater in finish February, and I couldn't. But I'm very close. Hold on. I'll show you how close I am. Whew. I'll show you how close I am. This purple stripy sweater is so heavy. Like, I start to worry right now. But maybe it's heavy because it still has the needles. Anyway, so for a few months now, I'm working on a stripy purple sweater for your girl, I mean myself, using the English rib stitch. There it is in all of its glory. Ta-da! Ta-ta-ta! I start, obviously, as you can see, I have half of sleeve and half of sleeve. It was very hard to work on the second sleeve because I kept getting the wrong number of stitches. So I had to unravel like 10 times, and then when I got the right number of stitches, I forgot to do the decreases here under the arm, and then I unraveled once again. And then at all the points, I was stopping to count once again where I had done the decreases, that I followed the same approximately. I'm pretty sure that this sleeve has 1 less or 2 less stitches than this sleeve. But I decided I'm not going to focus on every single mistake because I'm not a perfectionist. I just want to knit and wear this purple sweater. So this is what I have. And why I am avoiding now this sweater? Because I have very little yarn left and I don't know how to finish. I have 2 balls like this. So this means that I'm doing a few rows on this sleeve, a few rows on this sleeve, a few here, 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 to in a way combine somehow these 2 to finish successfully both sleeves. And because this is hard and working on one sleeve means that I have to push around the entire sweater plus the 2 balls of yarn, it's difficult. So this is why I have been avoiding this sweater. But I'm not gonna despair, or I'm not gonna be sad. Finish February has come and gone. I still made progress. You have seen I made a second sleeve. So this means we're gonna do Make It March or Make It in March. I think there's another hashtag, Make It March. Make it March. So it's gonna continue in March because I really want to wear it. I'm curious to see how it will look when I'll block it. Is the English rib stitch is going to stretch or come back like a harmonica? I don't know, you guys. And the second to last WIP that I had in February, and actually I started this scrappy blanket on the 1st of December. If you follow me, if you watched the Vlogmas, you have seen that I was trying to work and do 2 stripes a day, which started to be very difficult very soon because it became larger and heavier. Hold on, I missed some stitches and I am afraid. I am now working on a purple stripe, and I just finished it, and I have to do the transition to a beige stripe. But you guys, look, ta-da, I have a corner. This is the 3rd corner. This means that we are very close to the end. So just to show you, this is the 90 centimeter wide, and look, this means I'm so close to closing the 4th corner, and that's it. So the scrappy blanket is for my mom. It should have 90 centimeters by 200 centimeters, and I was having a hard time, I'm not gonna lie. I was struggling making all of these rows, especially I mean the longest ones, because it's supposed to be like a tilted pattern. I don't know. I just started working on, I started with 5 stitches and I did increases on both sides. This is my pattern. That's all I did. I did increases on both sides until I reached 90 centimeters, and then I started decreasing on one side and continuing like this on one side. So that's my whole pattern. Now I don't know what to do. Should I make like a border? Should I leave it like this? I will include here a video for you to see how it looks on the floor, or like on a flat surface. I don't know. The more I look at it, the more I want to make something, because it looks very simple, very like improvised. The colors don't have like a order, they don't have like a meaning. Some of them are variegated, others are just solid. So I don't know. Or maybe my mom said, don't complicate your life, just like bind off and wash it or block it, as you call it, and just give it to me. But you know, I want to make something nice for my mom. I don't know. I have to think about it. So I didn't finish it in February, but I'm very close. I did half an hour every day before sleep, before going to bed, and I am loving the progress, especially these last colors. Like, where has this blue been all my life? Like, look at this. I made a mistake here. I was doing yellow, and then I realized I don't have enough yellow for all 6 garter rows. Then I added some rust color. It's the big picture. Once again, I have to remind myself, it's just a scrappy blanket that my mom is going to put on her little nook, and it's going to remind her of me, and that's about it. So, question, do I do a border? I'm going to include the video here. Do I do a border or not? Maybe like a crochet border. I love crocheting borders. I crocheted the border of the temperature blanket, and I love how it looks, but I want to make like a really thick layer of like crochet. I'll think about it, because then it will like keep everything together. I don't know. I'll think about it. But this is my progress. So I have one more WIP in my purse, so let me go get it. Okay, I'm back. Not gonna lie, when I was walking in the hallway, I passed next to my window and I saw how pale I am, so I put on some lipstick. So don't be wondering what changed. I put on lipstick. So the 6th WIP that I have to show you is a pair of socks. I have the first one already done. I don't know why my socks look so weird all the time, or is it just me? Like, when I work on them, I think, oh my god, this sock looks so weird. The colors are weird. But then I finish it, I give it to my mom, she wears it, and I'm like, did I make those? They look so cozy. So anyways, I used some leftover acrylic yarn from my temperature blanket. This represented, I think, a cold temperature, so we never had cold days. I mean, as cold as this color. And I also had some variegated yarn from the thrift store. You know, I made a thrift haul in January, and I decided I'm not gonna just keep this yarn, I'm gonna use it right away. So as a result, we have a little bit of variegated yarn here. Then I did some stockinette, then some helical knitting with blue and variegated, then blue, and then vice versa. I did the vanilla pattern from the Crazy Sock Lady with the slip stitch and gusset. And the trick with this sock is that if it's way too long, my mom can do this, and automatically the socks don't look as weird anymore. I mean, I don't know, maybe I should make them less wide. Why do they look like this? Anyways, I cast it on with 52 stitches. Maybe when I get here, when I finish the ribbing, maybe I should decrease. I don't know. I have to go back to the pattern because I am doing something wrong. Like, my socks seem to be so wide here, it's crazy. But when I wear them, they fit me so well. So maybe that's the most important thing. Hold on. When I sent them to my mom, I actually folded like this, and like this. And they look fine. They look just like all the other socks that I knit for my mom. And some of them my mom even sells at the local farmer's market. And you guys, she sold one pair, which was from the same color. And oh my God, this created a whole a chain of reaction, if I can call it like this. Now my mom has like a business plan in her mind that we will use all the acrylic yarn in my stash to knit socks that she can sell to the people from my home village. So the sock, and I started the second one. I'm using my 2.5 millimeter needles with the cable. That is again my cat Nikita. So I will put this back into my purse because I am not touching these socks. Nikita! I swear, he's fine. He just wants a little bit of attention because I brought a lot of yarn and I'm talking and I'm being very passionate, and I don't talk to him. So he's fine, I can assure you. So I will take these and put it back into my purse because I am, this is my work knitting. I knit in the coffee break, in the lunch break, before work, after work. Whilst I am at home, I really want to finish the scrappy blanket and the purple sweater, and I want to bring back a WIP from hibernation. Hold on. Okay, I am back. I have my WIP, and that WIP was with another WIP. So I had like a wave of regret and sadness. How could I forget? But I decided that this year I will try and actually put on the effort, 30 minutes a day, just like I'm doing with the scrappy blanket, because this is what works for me. And I will try to finish it. And as you can see, this is a loop for embroidering. Nikita, you're okay, come. You're okay, come. You're such a good boy. So Nikita needs a little bit of attention. So let me share this mysterious WIP. It is embroidery. I think you call it cross stitch. We call it embroidering in Moldova, in Eastern Europe. But anyways, long story short, I did embroider when I was younger, and one of my friends said she wants a traditional blouse. In Moldova, our traditional clothing has a lot of embroidery here and on the shoulders and then here, and it's a whole thing. You get to select the region you're born in, the symbols, what they mean depending on your age, on your color, on your hair, on your, I don't know, social status. It's a whole thing. So a few years ago, I think 5 years ago, there were a few local fashion designers who decided to bring back that traditional clothing and to integrate elements from it into everyday blouses. So my friend said, oh, I would love to have a blouse which has some roses embroidered on it. And I said, oh, I can do that. I've embroidered in my life. So my friend gave me one of her blouses and gave me the piece of material. I think it's linen. I don't know exactly, I'll have to look it up, which is specifically for a summer traditional blouse or a blouse inspired from traditional clothing called iya. So I got the material, I gave it to my mom, and my mom followed the example of this blouse, cut it and sew it, because I don't know how to sew. So with the leftovers, I made a test, you know, to see how many threads would be one cross stitch and everything. So I said, okay, let me start. And I did start, but I made a mistake. And then I got in my head, I didn't know which way to go, to just cut everything and start from scratch. But then I said I worked on it for a month, and then I have to ask my mom again to sew everything back together. Nikita, leave it. Okay, so then I made a mistake and I didn't know whether I should scrap everything and start from zero. But then I thought that, oh, I have to bother my mom again and send her again the material, so to ask her to sew everything. So then I moved. I didn't know what happened with the bag, with the project, so I kind of forgot about it. And then my friend, who I see very often, sometimes asks me, oh, how's the project going? Is it going to be ready for my birthday? And then I had to tell her, oh my God, I made a horrible mistake. And also, I don't know where it is. And I think that she kind of said her piece. But anyways, I am determined to come back to this WIP and do something with it, like make it a finished object. It is uncomfortable in my mind and in my soul and in my heart that there is a WIP currently in my apartment. So after all of this talking, let me show you. This is the blouse. This is the embroidery that I've done thus far. It shows like a branch of roses. Some are in bloom, others are fully developed, and some leaves. You know, pretty simple. If you ask a person that does cross stitch or embroidery in general, this is the simplest as it gets. There are only 3 shades of green, some yellow in there, and 2 or 3 shades of red. Nothing major. The challenge is that I have to count the threads and then count to 5, and then, so how to explain it? Count to 5 on a straight line and then push the needle there, and then count to 5 on the other, or is it 5 or 4? You see, sometimes, yeah, I think it's 5 on 4. I have to brush up my knowledge of cross stitch, of embroidering. I don't know if this is cross stitch. Yes, it is, because it has one like this, and so this is cross stitch. Anyways, what was the problem? The problem is that I started embroidering this whole branch of rose way to the side, like it comes to too much under the arm, so it should have been a little bit closer to the middle. So I decided I will come back to this project. I will give it 30 minutes or maybe 20 minutes every day. I will not remove everything, because that's in itself, it's a huge task. I don't even know how to remove everything. I think there's like a tool which is similar to scissors. I don't know. So I decided I'm just gonna continue, and then I'll try to do the second one, and then I'll ask my friend whether she wants me to embroider something in the middle so it's not as visible. Well, right now it's not visible, but if you put it on, it's visible, because right now I'm specially putting it so that it doesn't look as bad, but I can assure you it's way too far. So I'm gonna ask my friend whether she wants me to embroider something like this, or we can fold it and sew it specifically like this, because traditionally the blouse have like this shoelace thingy, and then you determine how wide the neckline is. So I want to tell my friend that, look, I made a mistake, so I want this material to be moved more to navigate more to the center of your chest. So I will sew it like this. I will fold it and sew it here if you want. If not, if you want it to be a little bit more straight, what I can do, my mom proposed years ago, I think in 2018, that I embroider like a leaf, 2 leaves or something, I don't know. So much talking, but this project means so much for my friend. and she really hoped that I will deliver to her a blouse embroidered, inspired from our traditional clothing. So I want to finish it for her. So I bring back this WIP from 2018. It's time. It's time for me to finish it. Now the challenge is, I have here the sketch, the notes. Thank God I saved this. I don't know. So I said I lost the bag after the move. I moved into this apartment in 2019 and I lost the bag. And then in 2020, when was the pandemic? Anyways, I was doing a general cleanup and I found the bag and I was calling my mom like, oh my God, I found the bag. And she said, I didn't know you lost it. You should have asked me. I could have told you where it was. Because of course my mom helped me move and she organized my stuff and she knew about it. So this will be the WIP that will be on my rotation every day for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. But I have another WIP, but I'll just pack that one and put it back. I'm not going to work on it, but let me show you because I have it. So this is one of our traditional headscarves, and it was one of my inspiration because this is one of my mom's scarves. She used to wear it during like different holidays, going to church, and I love this color combination, like the purple and the yellow. So I wanted to embroider for myself a traditional blouse. So I bought the blouse. There are kits here in Moldova. You can buy the blouse. It's already sewn in a traditional way, like with the neckline, everything with this shoelacy thingy attached. And the only thing I needed to do was embroider the thingy on top. So I did this shoulder, you know, partially. Hold on. Again, roses. It's not finished, as you can see. Hold on. How can I make it? How can I make it so you can see? And then the I think this is the symbol of what, time? I forgot, you guys. I have to refresh my memory because every symbol has like a meaning of it. And I did the same here, more or less. And then I lost the bag because they were both packed in the same. My intention was to finish this and wear it with this scarf, like on my neck or on my head. But I lost the bag and it's been sitting in that end of the closet for so many years because I didn't think to ask my mom. Like, I'm a grown-up woman. I'm ashamed to ask my mom, oh, by the way, do you know where my stuff is? But, you know, my excuse is because they helped me move. My mom sort of organized my life then. And also she does that now. So, and by the way, the embroidery not only on the sleeve, but it has to happen on the chest here as well. This and this. So it will have 2 columns, and the material is specifically organized so that you can just pop and embroider. So it's not like this version where I have to count all the threads and find the 5th to top and then count 5 or 4 or 5 to the right or to the left. Here everything is already organized. As you can see, it's a different texture and you just pop, 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 pop. So technically this would be easier, but I want to give the blouse to my friend Corina. She's a wonderful friend. She's my mentor. She's one of my biggest supporters. And she didn't ask for this. I offered. And I feel like it's a duty. Sorry, that is again my cat. Nikita. I feel like it would be a pleasure and such a personal fulfillment. I don't want to say duty because I don't have to, but why not? I want to. I knitted for Corina, for my friend Corina, I knitted like a small shawl, rainbow shawl, and I have a shawl the same color for myself. And I made her some fingerless mittens. So this will be a 3rd handmade thing for her. So okay, I'm already feeling inspired. I think after I film, after I collect everything from the floor, I might just do the 20 minutes today. But I'll see. Today it's the 8th of March. You know, I should be celebrating. But let's see. Let's take it easy. Let me check. I don't have any hauls, any yarn haul, because I didn't purchase any yarn. I'm trying to, but anyways, hold on. Speaking about yarn haul, my note says here, my mom used 50 grams of the yarn that I bought at the thrift store. So I'm adding this to the count, plus 50 grams. And I think I'll include here a video of what my mom made, because she crocheted the yarn whilst she was here in Chisinau. So you guys, it's such a pleasure to share like hobbies with your mom or with your loved ones. Anyways, I added 50 grams mama, and that's it. So all in total, I used 846 if you want to be more precise. 846 grams of yarn in the month of February, which is impressive. But hold on. If you're knitting on something, I would love to hear what in the comments, what are you knitting on? Because I do the same. I open a podcast. I prefer if it's like a 30 minutes or 40 minutes or 1 hour podcast. I turn it on and then I take my scrappy blanket and I knit for the entirety of the podcast, because this is how I motivate myself. Let's check with last year. In 2023, in February, I had 7 finished objects. How many did I? 7! I see that my my hobby is pretty consistent. Last year I had 4 shawls, the temperature blanket for my birthday, a sweater, and a doggy jacket. Well, this year it's more light. 2 pairs of socks, 3 tablecloths, my remake of the shawl, and leg warmers. Okay, I don't know about you, but I am getting pretty tired of listening to my own voice. I hope you don't feel the same. I know there's like some explanation there why we dislike listening to the voice, to our own voice. But I hope you had a wonderful time with me in this video. Come back for the next one to see some of these WIPs being completed, hopefully. This is my hope. Some of you comment and hold me accountable, and this feels great. Please do so. There was somebody commenting that this shawl, I was just switching colors from this color to this color, and somebody said, that looks quirky but also cute. So thank you so much. I think so too. So your comments, your likes, your, I don't know, your interactions keep me motivated and keep me, how do you say that? They keep me accountable, yes? If I say something here, this means that I have to follow through. And this is a muscle that I'm trying to train this year, because I'm a process knitter. In the past, I was all about the process, just like Knits and Pearls. But last year and this year, I want to see finished objects, and objects that I wear, objects that I can gift. So this is my goal for 2024. Objects that are finished, worn, loved, remade. I have a few ideas to remake some of the sweaters I did last year, because I'm not wearing them, so what's the point? They have an issue which I can correct or unravel and redo so that I can wear them. But anyways, enough talking. It is the 8th of March. I send my congratulations to you if you're celebrating women's rights, women presence, International Women's Day, and happy making, happy knitting, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.